If you're playing Elden Ring, you may not have encountered the Madness status effect and the weapons in the game that apply Madness. It's a very interesting status, so in this video we're going to show you all of the Madness weapons in the game, and if you do enjoy this video, make sure to click like and subscribe down below, and let us know in the comments what you think of the Frenzied Flame in Elden Ring. I'm Paradise Central. I'm going to start off by just talking about what Madness actually is. It is of course a status effect much like Bleed or Frostbite. It will build up through repeated use of skills, spells, or weapons that apply the status. Once it's built up, targets affected by Madness will take damage equal to about 100 flat plus around 15% of their max HP, and then it will cause an FP loss of around 30 flat plus 10% of their max FP, so it will hit both their health and their FP, which will affect their ability to cast both spells and weapon skills. You can mitigate the effects of Madness on your character by raising your focus stat, which can be improved through increasing your mind stat, or through talismans or shields that raise the focus stat. It's overall a great status for going against mage characters or any class that relies heavily on their FP, but is also great for the damage it deals, much like Bleed or Frostbite, but it's primarily useful against other players, but it does work on some NPC enemies as well. So let's move on to our first weapon that applies the Madness status effect, and it's Viseks War Spear. This is a war spear singed and blistered by fingers used by Vike, the Knight of the Round Table Hold. Like Vike himself, it has been tormented by the yellow flame of frenzy from within. It will require 16 strength, 20 dex, and 18 faith, and it has a nice passive 65 madness build-up on it. This weapon's fantastic not just because it's one of the very few weapons that apply madness, but also because it has a great unique skill, the Frenzied Flame Thrust. You imbue the spear with the flame of frenzy and leap forwards, plunging it into the ground to set off a maddening explosion, and the skill inflicts both the enemy but also the user with madness. You can get this from defeating the festering Fingerprint Vike invader in Leonia of the Lakes near the Church of Inhibition, and this spear is fantastic, especially in PvP, so make sure to give it a try if you haven't already. And our next madness weapon is actually a shield, the Fingerprint Stone Shield, a great stone shield with an intrinsically carved fingerprint design, one of the heaviest of all the great shields. Part of the tomb of an ancient god, the fingerless readers relayed their messages through these imprints, said to be the very seeds from which the frenzy first sprouted. So really interesting lore-wise to do with the Frenzied Flame there, but you will need 48 strength for this shield, and it does weigh a whopping 29, but it does have a passive madness build-up of 70 on it, so you will have to attack them with this shield in order to benefit from that, but it does also have huge physical protection at 100 and a guard boost of 90 when you max it out. It's a very good shield overall, and even makes Melania's waterfall dance attack just complete easy mode if you're using this shield. This one requires a somewhat challenging parkour route, and we have an entire standalone video going in depth on how we can help you get this for yourself, which will be linked in the description down below. And the final madness build-up weapon is actually a seal. It's the Frenzied Flame Seal, the formless sacred seal bestowed by the Maiden of the Three Fingers. Enhances incantations of Frenzied Flame, and this seal is the mark of the Lord of the Frenzied Flame. It scales incantations using strength, dexterity, intelligence, and faith all together. Interestingly, it has no requirements to use it, and since it scales with those 4 stats, it's probably one of the easiest seals to use for a build that doesn't invest much into faith when it comes to using buffs or the other lower level incantations. But it also boosts Frenzied Flame incantations, so is great for a hybrid stat build that focuses on Frenzied Flame incantations, or as an offhand to get the bonus of the passive. It also has its own passive 55 madness build-up on the seal itself, but this only applies to physical attacks made with the seal and not all incantations cast with this. Although that would be really cool, it would be a bit overpowered. So although it's one of the few in the game that has madness build-up on it, you will have to physically attack with this, which isn't really something you do with a seal, so this seal is more so used for casting with its no requirements and equal split stat scaling, but also for the passive boost to Frenzied Flame incantations. To get this, you will have to complete the end of Hayetta's questline as part of becoming the Lord of Chaos, where you give her all of the Shabriri grapes at each location she moves to until you finally get this seal for yourself. I really want to know what you guys think of the Madness and the Frenzied Flame incantations in the comments down below. I find them very interesting, and I think builds built around them will be really quite powerful, especially for PvP. So let me know in the comments down below, and we'll learn together as a community community. If you did enjoy this video, show support by clicking like and subscribing down below, and the videos on screen now we think you will really enjoy and benefit from, as we have a lot of information on Elden Ring already on the channel, so click the links above and don't miss out.